What is an IEP?
IEP stands for Individualized Education Program, and it is a written statement for a child with a disability that is developed, reviewed, and revised in a meeting in keeping with certain requirements of law and regulations.
What is a transition plan?
A transition plan is the section of the IEP that outlines transition goals and services for the student. The transition plan is based on a high school student's individual needs, strengths, skills, and interests. Transition planning is used to identify and develop goals which need to be accomplished during the current school year to assist the student in meeting his post-high school goals.
When should transition planning begin?
The IEP team may begin discussing transition services with the student before they turn 16 in order to identify and develop goals they will need to accomplish once they get out of high school. A statement of the needs based on the transition assessment and future goals must be written into the IEP. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act of 2004 mandates that the annual IEP meeting focuses on more specific planning and goal setting for the necessary transition services.
Factors to be included are academic preparation, community experience, development of vocational and independent living objectives, as well as a functional vocational evaluation.
Yes, that is true. And the agreed-upon plans must then be documented in the student's IEP. The law also requires that a statement of the student's transition goals and services be included in the transition plan.
It is not enough to simply be aware that teenagers need guidance to transition successfully from high school to the next phase of young adulthood. Concrete action steps must be taken to guide and prepare teens for college or for independent living. Without this guidance, students with learning disabilities often fail or flounder in high school and after high school.
Transition services provided by knowledgeable educators and community resources can be tailored to a student's goal and strengths and provide them with the options and plans for their future. Transition services offer students with learning disability hope for the future.
What transition services are available for a student with learning disabilities and an IEP?
Special education staff provide assistance with counseling, identifying vocational interest, educational and vocational planning, goal setting, pre-vocational skills training, and academic support, and linkages to specific programs and services. Some of the other transition-related services that are available to all high school students include guidance counseling, career center services, work experience education, academic programs, and career education vocational courses.
Who should participate in IEP meetings where transition planning is discussed?
All transition planning meetings should include the student, family members, teachers, and other school staff. According to IDEA, anyone else involved in the student's transition plan must also be invited. This might include representatives from school to work transition programs, local social service agencies, counseling programs, medical care providers, and advocates. Parents are key players in transition planning process. They know their child best and may have already discussed concerns about their future.
Transition services are intended to help youth with disabilities make the transition from the world of secondary school to the world of adulthood. How did IDEA define these services?
Transition services mean a coordinated set of activities for a child with a disability that is designed to be within the results-oriented process. It also must be focused on improving the academic and functional achievement of the child with a disability to facilitate the child's movement from school to post-school activities, including post-secondary education, vocational education, integrated employment. And And the services don't just end there. Continuing and adult education, adult services, independent living, and community participation are also included.
Yes, and the services will also be based on the individual's needs, taking into account the strengths, preferences, and interests of the individual.
It is important to point out that IDEA highlighted, coordinated. The services are to be planned as a group and are intended to drive towards a result. They should not be haphazard activities, but coordinated with each other to achieve that positive outcome or result.
Remember, transition services include independent and adult living, community employment, adult services, daily living skills, vocational post-secondary education.